Afternoon, family. Yesterday was a rough day for lots of people, but a good day for lots of people. Yesterday was election day here in America, and it was one that we have been seeing leading up with people being argumentative, name casting, being disrespectful to one another, and we talked about this before that it was stuff that needed to stop. But at the same time, it's over. The election is done. Whatever happens, happens. Votes are still being counted, still being counted. We don't know as of when this is being recorded who our next president will be. Will it be Trump? Will it be Biden? No one knows yet. That's still to be determined as votes are still being counted from the absentee ballots. But the thing that we do know is that despite the outcome, it shouldn't matter to us. It is time to say it's okay. If your candidate did not win, you can't go about thinking if the world is going to end because they didn't win. That's not the case. It's not part of how it works. And if your candidate did win, you can't go and gloat about how great it's going to be when your candidate is the president or what they're going to continue to do. And you just can't do that because you don't know. Ultimately, no matter who wins, we have to take a moment or two to reflect back and say, you know what? Like I said last week, God has put them where they need to be. God has put them there for whatever purpose. And what we need to do now is be praying for the leaders that have been elected. You could also be praying for the leaders that did not win a re-election. I know there were some of those in the Senate and others as well. But be praying for them. Be praying for their mentality. Be praying for their state. Be praying for the thing that's going to happen. But I think the most important thing for us to realize at this point is that we as a body of believers need to focus in now more than ever on unifying together, finding peace together, looking and praying that our new elected officials, our re-elected officials, can work for the exact same thing. That they can look for unity, they can look and work towards peace, they can work for wisdom and what they need to do in order to have that. Yesterday was a very big day. It was one of those that we would look at and say, a lot of us looked with anticipation about what's going to happen, who's going to win, what's going to play out, what's it going to look like when the power switches from one place to the other. And well, there's all these different things that we can look into and we can argue about and we can contemplate and we can fear and we can worry about. But yet we are reminded time and time again not to worry, not to be anxious. Instead, just simply trust God and let Him do what He's always done. Allow Him to have the control that He's supposed to have, and allow Him to use the leaders that He raises up or He takes down to be able to do what He wants to accomplish. And we've had, for the past year at least, a very polarizing campaign going on. Whether it was presidential, your Senate, especially here in Kentucky, it was negative. It was horrible. Names being called not only by politician to politician, but people calling other people names based off who they wanted to support. People calling candidates names based off of what they don't really know. I mean, let's face it. When it comes to politicians and what the ads they put out, they don't necessarily say the stuff that they put on there. Other people kind of put it in there to help them win their campaign. And that's what it's about. It's a dog eat dog world. They're going to say what they need to say in order to win, and they're going to make the other person look bad in order so that they can win. But the thing we need to remember is it's done. We don't need to call people names. We don't need to be arguing with people over politics anymore. It's over. It's just simply, it's done, and what happens, happens. And America has had a long history of any time there's a power change that everything just kind of works and it goes peacefully. And like I said, we don't know who's going to be our next president right now when this is being recorded. Maybe tonight when this airs and gets shown on Facebook and YouTube that we will. But no matter what, there will always be a smooth transition, a peaceful transition, because what really ultimately matters is that these candidates are here for America, trying to make America, in their mind, be the best that it can be. We have gone through a lot of stuff in our history. We've had revolutions, we've had wars, we've had lots of violence. And some of us have been involved, probably. We have read, definitely. all this negativity that has been cast around lately. And it's time for us as Christians to take a stand and say, you know what, it needs to end. We need to be done. Whether you're candidate one or not, it's time for us to unify and be together. So let's make sure that we do that, and let's keep on focusing on towards those directions and realize that God is at work in this world, and that no matter who leads our country, that God is here and He is working for His people to see love, for His people to have peace, for His people to simply see all the people of the world come together under the love that He has for one another. So today is a day of moving forward and a day to remember to simply pray for our country, pray for our leaders, and all who work to make a better world around us. So instead of having a big, long, drawn out study today, what I simply want to do with a short video is just challenge you tonight to listen a little bit, the 6 minutes or so that I have here, and then take the next few minutes to simply pray for the leaders, pray for our president, pray for our senators, pray for our country, pray for our judges that have been elected, and other local city council, everything else. And just take that moment to pray. For the next 10, 15 minutes, just simply pray for the leaders that are either being elected or those who are not being elected, and just allow God to do His work. I hope you guys have a great night, and we'll see you soon.